What's up, everybody? This is Erica from the Classy Climb blog coming to you today from the backyard again. Anyway, so I had to do this one because somebody was like, Erica, go see Donald Trump in this, press conference. He's cracking me up, and he's just like pointing fingers and he's bossing, and he's like, hush, be quiet. I'm not talking to you. Fake news. I mean, just putting on a show, basically putting on a show for everyone to see, which is quite funny. But at the end of the day, here's the deal. Three things that keep Donald Trump winning, that keep people saying he's the best, even though he's clearly incompetent. I know people who to this day are like, Barack Obama's incompetent. I'm like, really? Paris, I don't think so. But anyway, three things: confidence, action, teamwork. Here's the funny. Donald Trump says things with such confidence, even if they're inaccurate, even if they're not true. And what's funny is that sells people, dude. Like, I don't know how to tell you that in a way that makes sense other than that sells people hard. I remember working at Lowe's and Best Buy, and I would go, yeah, it's over there in that department over there to the fifth, and you turn right in this right corner, and I'd be so confident in it. It was just funny. People would go, and then the other coworker would be like, "You don't know where that is." I'm like, "Yeah, but I sounded pretty confident, didn't I?" I mean, it's kind of funny and terrible at the same time, but that's the true deal of it. If you sound confident, it carries you a lot farther than not. Also, being truthful, saying you don't know something works well, but as you can tell with Donald Trump, confidence in spite of knowledge works well. So another part of that is action. He takes action. It drives people crazy, but here's the thing. If you read any of his books, Art of the Deal, you're watching any documentaries on him, he would literally start projects and not know if he had enough funding, not know if he had enough partners, not know if he, could kind of make the deal work. And because he was taking action, people would jump on board. The train would take off the station and people would close the deal and make the deal work. I mean, there was even a guy that worked at one of the banks who knew the deal wasn't done, but yet he forced the deal to be done on his side because he knew, like, oh my God, he's already pointed us out as one of the people making this deal work. Uh, if you look at anybody in life, a guy or a girl, if they're starting to take action, I told you guys this other day, the fastest YouTube channels are the fitness channels where someone's currently overweight and in the process of losing weight. Why? Because people see them taking action. People want to follow them on the journey. They want to support them. Same thing if you meet a guy who's a starting entrepreneur, he just started a lawn care company. Girls are highly attracted to that dude because they're like, he's his own boss. Now, that works sometimes, not all the time. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is confidence plus action. You're confident and you're going in a direction, people follow. There's a book called People Follow You by Jeff Blunt. I love that book because it's true. You ever see a boss that's positive, uplifting, rah, 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 and people just go do what he says? And then you have the boss that's mean, is pushing people around. It's like he's got to drag them to the finish line because people follow you. They like the first boss. They do what the second boss says because they're scared of getting fired. So I talk more about that and business funding, business credit, and other things I can't say online at my blog. That's why I put it up in the first link. It's classyfcl.com. But I'm going to go ahead and check the comments in a second. Another funny thing is teamwork. If you read into the things, Robert Kiyosaki, any of these people, these lawyers, these bankers, these doctors, I mean, people hear all the time, Donald Trump doesn't pay people. He gifts people. He does this. And they will still sign up to be on that team. They will still sign up to be a part of whatever he's doing. They want to have their name on the project that he's working on. It's so interesting that, if you read The One Thing by Gary Keller, every one person you add to your team adds the productivity of that team. Like, everybody rowing on the boat is making the boat go faster. So I'm gonna check the notes real quick here. Chris McDonald, hello Erica, hello Chris. Jasmine, I'm messing it up. Fake it till you make it, huh? You know what, Jasmine? I am not a believer in fake it till you make it. I believe, Gary Vee says something very powerful about documenting instead of creating. If you're showing people you're not all the way there yet, like I'm not a billionaire, I'm in the process of working my businesses and here's the systems that work for me and I can help you kind of set up some systems. People are a lot more genuine and people want to help you. People want to work with people who are genuine. And that wins 9 times out of 10. Now, the fake it till you make it. Now, here's my thing about fake it till you make it. I remember a girl we had in the office at the apartment complex. And she was ghetto, dude. I saw her off hours, right? She was real ghetto. And she never done the job before. But she told me she never done the job before, because I remember her at a temp agency. And so she came in and she was dressed so nice. Her hair was different. Her earrings were different. Her demeanor was different. And I was like, it was night and day. And the boss was like, I got to have her in here. She's so interesting. And I laughed because she really didn't know the job, but her personality and her confidence got her in the door. So she was faking it a little bit till she made it. So she learned after that, though, because she had worked before, I think, like in what's the word I'm looking for? Section 8 low income housing properties. And so this was a kind of higher end or whatever. So Radiance Music. Hello, I'm a new follower and you're awesome. Thank you, Radiance. Thanks for checking out the channel. Radiance, if you haven't, remember to look up top or below for the links that, go to the blog, classyscl.com. It has a lot of articles I write on there and talk about things I probably can't put on YouTube or Facebook or might get kicked off. So I get to kind of vent my piece there. And also I help you guys. I do put a lot more links in the blog than I do on the page. I apologize. I know people get annoyed by that. Andrew Robinson. What's up, Erica? Hello. Oh no, we've got a troll coming here. We're gonna have to delete them off. Hold on. Let me see if I can get them out of here. Anyway, we got somebody using some horrible language there, so we'll ignore him. But anyway, let's see if I can go ahead and mute him. Block. You are blocked. There we go. You're blocked. Done with that. So anyway, yeah, so I always get crazy enough about these live streams and YouTube. There are people who spend their days like wanting to come on here cussing people out, and I'm like, are we serious? Like, that's how you spend your free time? Bashing folks? That's crazy, right? Right, Chris McDonald? And Chris McDonald says in order to protect trolls. There's a lot of trolls out there. But the key to this whole conversation is, when you see Donald Trump, and many people get frustrated, they're like, Donald Trump is lame, or they don't like him, or they're saying he's this. A lot of it is walking in the room with your head held high and wanting to work with other people. I just know too many people who, they don't come from families with a bunch of money. They don't come from situations that are most awesome in the world, but they come in the room with confidence and willing to work and find out the information. That's the key. Anything going on with you guys today? Definitely share any questions you have. Any questions about Donald Trump? This one's gonna be a little shorter today, but I'll try to be here for a minute because if you watch his life, man, his dad really won the lottery, right? His dad went from carrying the bricks at the construction site to going, I need to own those cheap properties across town, and then it went from there. And so Donald Trump's just holding up the house at this point. Now his kids are gonna grow it. Jasmine Tennell, I'm gonna be like y'all when I grow up. Man, Jasmine, you got this probably right now. A lot of you when you call or pay for consults and talk to me, like I did 100 calls like 2 weeks ago. It was crazy. You guys are so close. It doesn't make any sense. You're so close. Like, you've been working, your credits are pretty decent. You have records of, you have W-2s and you've been working for years in consistency, that a bank, a few more steps, y'all could be where y'all want to be. Y'all could invest in a rental. Y'all could start a side business and not lose any skin off your back because you put in years of consistency. And banks are looking for that more than anything. So Jasmine Taylor, I looked up Paula Pant and afford anything. I could care less about Donald Trump. That's the funny thing. It's he is just a shock and awe character. So for the next 2 years, you're gonna be hearing about him ridiculously, but it's like so overwhelming, his behavior, that you ignore there's other things going on right now, right? Like, Congress is passing bills and doing things that you're like, wait a minute, hold on, Section 8's changing and inflation's coming. Wait a minute, anybody paying attention to that? And they don't. That's why I'm really big on the blog writing about, it's business time. You just can't afford. I mean, we already see now more than ever. Like Paula Payne, I love her as an example. Homegirl moved to Las Vegas. If you got halfway through the blog and you see it, Homegirl has moved to Las Vegas. She is she's like over here living off the 11 to 12 grand a month that comes in off her tenants and like enjoying life, dude. It's so interesting that like she can still manage her properties and keep it rolling. I also looked at how to get a DMB number, but it is only free if you're doing business with Sam. That's true. Sorry, man. That is a really, True fact. And the thing about Sam is government contracts come in all forms. Like, so I have a painting company here in Austin, Texas. You guys know that. I talk about it a lot on the show and in the blog. And we had to register with Sam. And when we did, there's not a lot of companies. Here's the deal. There's not a lot of minority companies or companies in general that want to deal with the government at times, but they overlook the projects. Like if the school gets tax money and they need to repaint the school rooms, who's doing that? There's companies that are signed to do that. It's not all government. They have to outsource a lot of things to people. So nothing wrong working with Sam. Nothing wrong getting your Duns Bread free. I would still register with Sam in your area anyway. All right. Debbie Jean, hey Erica, I just finished nursing school, but I'm really interested in real estate. My credit score is 760, but no money saved. Should I save money for my own house first? I have 25K in loans only. Debbie, this is perfect. If you go on my channel and look on the Slow and Low series, it's a whole playlist together. It's a woman called Amanda Young. She's called Nurse Buys Houses. Keep doing the nursing thing. Definitely go get your job with the nursing. And what you do is that first year, you can get approved more. Like she's in Tampa and she's on her fifth house now, fifth rental property in a house she owns. So the key is if a lot of you have the jobs and the W-2 is what's going to get your foot through the door and the credit score. I mean, right now you got 1% down programs. You got all kind of programs. Debbie Jean, where are you located at? So, but I mean, be interested in real estate. It's a great thing. Like this is, if I can tell this to y'all and make this make sense. Imagine if you 10 years from now, you're saying, look, I'm 25, 35, I want to be done. Or I'm 35 at 45, I want to be done. And when you mean done, you mean you don't want to work for anybody else, right? If you buy one $40,000 to $75,000 house a year and turn around and rent it out, right? For $850, $900 a month. And you do that for 10 years, one house a year for 10 years. At the end of year 10, you're going to have about $8,000 to $10,000 a month coming in from your rental properties. Now, yeah, you're going to have some mortgages and it's going to be, some of that money cuts down, but that's just, imagine that you're working as a nurse and you got 10 grand coming in on the side. Like that's just cake. That's just cake on top of cake. And you can leave your job whenever you want. Now imagine Paula Pant who did that in 5 years. That's the difference. That's why I always recommend her blog for y'all to check it out. I like her a lot. But the key is when you got 25 in loans, that's nothing. Just don't go get a new car and just try to get a, if your first house, if you can get your first house be a 4-plex or a 3-plex and you get a property manager, like they don't know you own it, that's a sweet deal. Andre, you see, I still got these crazy people coming on here. They need something to do with their life. All right. Okay. Andre Robinson. Oh, wait, let me go up. Sorry, it's moving. Who do I send dispute letters to as far as credit concerned? It depends. I don't know if you're sending off for healthcare. I don't know what you got. Collections. I don't know what you have. Now, you're usually sending them to the big 3. If you need help, there's a free group I always recommend on Facebook, but you can also just message me or do a consult with me. It just depends on what's on your credit. I don't know what's on your credit. I don't want to just tell you dispute everything because some stuff might be old and keeps your points up. So, Debbie Jean, I'm just confused as to where to start. Thank you, Debbie Jean. Definitely. You know what? You can either hit Paula Pants Afford Anything.com blog. Sure is really good for starting a story. Another one is I tell you guys all the time about Lisa Phillips. She's in DC right now. Black lady, blonde, dreadlocks, really tight, small dreadlocks. She's a affordable real estate investments.com. And basically she only buys $30,000, $50,000 houses. Consult link, follow the link or whatever. Jasmine Tennell, can I get government contracts to grow organic food? Where do I find that? Okay, so Jasmine, here's your deal. Your best bet is to have the farm, right? Like have the acreage and set the farm up on paper, right? And then go look for the contracts because there's several government websites you could go on. There's about 4 or 5 where you go look for government contracts. Like I remember I had a coffee shop in North Carolina and Fort Bragg needed a coffee person to have a coffee cart inside the brand new Walmart hospital, right? The hospital they had there. And you just had to go on one of the government sites and apply. And so whichever company got first dibs and did it for the cheapest, they won. So, I mean, for you, Jasmine, it may be like HEB, Publix, like that. So Debbie Jean, PA, you're in PA, Pennsylvania. I'm telling you, I know some people in Maryland and New Jersey and different places, turnkey companies. Debbie, just, do a consult. Let's talk. Let's see where you're at. Okay. Jasmine Tennell, indeed, I want to retire in 5 years. I've got a couple clients who want to retire in 5 years. You really have to have the focus turned on. You got to have it focus turned on. That's why when I talk about doing the credit repair, getting the business credit, getting the funding, and like all that money has to go to picking up at least 2 properties in that first year, because you want to feel the traction. You want to feel like it's going somewhere in your retirement. It's very possible. It's very doable. There's another guy's blog. I'm trying to think what it is, but I can't put my mind on it. He bought 4 $40,000 houses in 1 year because the down payments were only like $9,000. So he just took some money out of his savings and dropped them on the 4 houses. He got 2 in Kansas and the rest in Indiana. L, what? Get out of here, Travis. I know, L, right? These people are crazy today. I've had to block like 4 people. There's one lady, Deborah Carver, somebody who keeps blowing up the channel with like the N-word. I'm like, whoa, chick, calm that down. So, but that's people who are losers, L. They're watching this channel instead of trying to fix their own life. It's crazy. Debbie Jean, thank you. Urban Thomas, hey, Urban Thomas, hey, Erica. Dexter Williams, now it's time to double focus on what she's saying. Yeah. Jasmine telling me, I bet all those trolls broken. That's why they hating. Dude, you know what it is, dude? I really think some of these people just ain't got no life, man. They ain't got no life. It's just hard to say. Like Travis keeps coming back in here like he just bored at his house, I guess. No life. Dexter Williams, the more trolls, the better information, right? Who would rent a $30,000 house? That sounds crazy to me from a Houston perspective. Dexter, this is the crazy part. See, right now, Dexter Williams, I want you to go on to realtor.com. Dang, I'm trying to think of which town I can look up for you real quick. Let me think of one. Hold on. Go on Charlotte, North Carolina, Dexter Williams. Charlotte, North Carolina, realtor.com, and type in $30,000 to $50,000 house. Now, you're going to get some funky ones in there, but you're going to get some good ones. And the crazy thing is, when I say $30,000 house, really the neighborhood's like a working class. Everybody's like, fast food, construction, maybe Mexicans, a lot of cars parked at one house, and these multiple people are renting. Like, they're not as bad as you think. Every area is different. You're saying from Houston perspective, but right now you can go to Macon, Georgia. You can go to Tampa for $60,000 houses. You can go to parts of Atlanta and still get a two-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for $70,000 in Douglasville area, stuff like that. So, I mean, every area is different. $30,000 in Madison, Wisconsin, way different. Madison, Wisconsin, by the college, they got some $30,000 houses. Andre Robson, thank you. You answered. I wasn't sure if I'd send them to the collections agent or the big 3. It depends. I don't know. Depends on what you have. It just, I hate giving people blanket information because I might be telling you wrong. Like if you got something healthcare related, that's different. And you might send them a HIPAA letter. If you have, like, let's say you have an account and it was in 2010 and it's 2017, it's going to fall off. Leave it alone. Those type things, Andre, is what I mean. Like sometimes people go send that mess out and mess it up. Like all of a sudden it gets updated. Michael Knight, hello, Michael Knight. Irvin Thomas trolls. I know, Thomas, this is crazy to me, but it's funny because that means, they just make the viewer count go up. All right. I'm going to report them to just kind of, get that going. All right. Urban Thomas, True Dexter, Jasmine telling in St. Louis, what does the average person live in $30,000 houses? Yeah, that's true. Like, if you guys ever see when I do the show with Esther L from Urban Asset Protection, she basically went through the city of St. Louis, not Missouri, I think the one right beside it or whatever, across the river, and got 3 houses absolutely free and used the city's programs to fix the house. Now, the city programs to fix the house had like a nonprofit working with young Black teenagers and Latino teenagers, helping them, showing them how to like fix properties, install doors, install locks, and put windows in. So yeah, it took her longer for the 3 houses to get repaired, but it was like almost at no cost to her because it was like the city was using different programs to work together, teach these kids and pick it up for free. Jasmine Tilly, and tax properties are hot, cheap here, but there are no appreciation value. That's very true. There's some areas where it's never going to appreciate. Like I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and people don't know about Chattanooga, but I'm dropping it here. Gary Vee and several other places have gone, startup companies have gone there because they're preparing for when a lot of these tech companies are leaving California even more. People don't realize this, but I went to a conference. A lot of these tech companies are breaking up and going to the top 5, which is like Marietta or whatever the name of that place is in Georgia. It's 25 miles north of Atlanta. 900 tech companies just moved there. Austin, Texas, where I'm at now. Raleigh, North Carolina, which Raleigh's number 2. Austin, Texas is number 3 for tech companies. Charlotte, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, and one other place. But they're basically going across those places. But right now, you can go look in those towns, and there's $30,000, $50,000 houses all over the place. All right, Dexter Williams, Charlotte, North Carolina, Realtor.com. Yeah, go on Realtor.com, type in Charlotte, North Carolina, type in your pricing for $35,000 to $50,000, because you'll see some of those little tiny 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses that rent out to people for $550 for $29,000. I kid you not. You'll see it for yourself. Dexter Williams, thanks. Great info. Chris McDonald, thank you, Chris McDonald. Trolls are distraction agents. If you have trolls, that's a good sign. It proves information is good. Malik Campbell, watching from Philly. Philly, I actually had some cousins in Philly. Let me tell you a crazy story, Malik. You can't tell from how beautifully chocolate brown I am, but a generation before me, my grandma and her father, basically there's some people in our family that look a little white, right? They look white, right? And they moved to Philly, and they were passing for a little while till the 80s caught up with them. So it's just crazy Philly story. I just had to share that. But yeah, we like lost touch with these people. We're like, what happened to them? And they came back. Man, they look like Greeks. They look like Greek folk, but they're cool. They're cool. They own some properties in Philly now, though. East St. Louis. Yeah, I guess that's what you call it when one side's St. Louis, other side St. Louis, but it's Missouri or whatever. Laval Malukas. Hello, Erica. What is the best way to contact you? I'm interested in repairing personal credit and business credit as well. Okay, Laval Lucas. I think I always put it in the links, but here, I'll put it here too. Just hit me for the content, and like we'll talk about what's going on with you, because a lot of times some of y'all are so close, it's not even that hard. It's real easy. Let me go back. Let me go back up a little bit. Jasmine Tilly like caption in Tully and East St. Louis properties, they're practically giving them away. The school system sucks. Well, here's the thing. I really think people are depending too hard on the school system. It was really never the public school system's job to really teach your children well. That's where private schools came in. That's where other things came in. I know people hate hearing that because they're just trying to work hard and make your living. But my mom put me in private school for a while she went overseas in the military. And it was like the best transition moment in my life, because I realized those private school kids weren't that smart. And when I went back to public school for high school, I just took all AP classes. Had 10 people in my class. My teacher let me do whatever I wanted. It was great. My sister's like super great with math, but she ended up being a hairstylist. And people be like, man, your sister was like a whiz with math. I'm like, yeah, everybody just, it's not about the school as much as what your child's getting, and do they feel respected or loved by the teachers. A lot of people are dropping your kids off at schools where the schools don't like your kids. They ain't talking to your kids in the right manner. They're telling Jamal he's stupid. Don't do that mess. All right. Andre Robinson, I'm doing the Dave Ramsey snowball method. That's a very good method. Listen, Andre, here's the kicker. When I was coming out of college, which is not even that long ago, my friends in North Carolina and ones that joined the National Guard went to South Carolina. They had to do South Carolina. They bought a house for $55,000, had to work on the kitchen, of course. And they both had 2 little BMWs, right? Older. They paid those bad boys off in 5 years. A $55,000 house, your mortgage is $300,000. If you and your wife come together and talk and go, listen, we need to put $1,000 on this bad boy and get rid of it, like $1,000 a month to get rid of it. And every time you get your tax refund, you throw it down on it, you're free. So the Dave Ramsey snowball method works. People kind of clown it. But if you look around, I've got friends who have paid off cars. Only thing they're paying is their mortgage. And at the end of the day, their mortgage comes out to maybe $1,000. So if your wife is making $4,000 a month and you making $8,000 a month, you're an engineer, you're doing damn well. You got a lot of money left over to invest. So Michael Knight, is Miami housing market good to find opportunities? Michael, any market in the whole United States is good for opportunities. Now, here's the kicker. Do you have money to get in that market? That's the deal, right? Because a lot of people are going to say it's too overpriced. When someone says something's overpriced or it's lacking in cash flow, that means they just don't have money to play in that market. That's usually what that means. That's why I'm big on business credit, and business funding, because it's the opportunities out there, because a lot of you've been working for so many years and have good credit. The bank's like, sure, you want some money? Sure. Charles McDonald, Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee is like old news. I ain't gonna say it to you like that, but like it's been on the investor list for years. Like I go to apartment investing conferences and seminars where I could invest in groups, and they quit looking at Houston and Memphis because they're like, it's overrated at this point. But anywhere you are, Chris McDonald, or anywhere you want to be, you just have to find where you want to do your niche. Malik Campbell, wow, she said my name. Hey Malik, anytime, dude, anytime. Philly cracks me up just because of that one family member. We're like, is she still somewhere pretending to be white? But nah, they're back. They're back. They're cool people. Jasmine Tanil, I'm killing your name. I apologize though. How do people make a living with nonprofit business? My friends want to start a homeless shelter. If you don't make money, how do you pay yourself? Okay, so here's the deal with nonprofits. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and this is offensive, so prepare yourself. Black people and Latino people kill me always wanting to start nonprofits. Like, give it a fucking rest already. How do you win souls? How do you win teenagers? How do you win people over? Starting a business and giving young people jobs. My friend owns a lawn care company, and he hires felons, okay, and pays them he starts to pay them $9 and $11 an hour. The one kid on the team who was a college student got mad that he was making the same as the felons. And he said, if you got a problem that you make the same money as the felons, you can keep walking. This is you as a business owner. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Chick-fil-A. And my friend's a pretty cool guy, but Chick-fil-A, every Saturday they make all those teenagers come in there and they talk to them for different business stuff and ethics and college and where are they going with their life, right? It's like not even a Saturday training. It's almost like a personal development thing. Well, if you own a local Popeyes, a Subway, or whatever, every Saturday you can do the same thing with your employees and give them direct mentorship or personal development, and it will come more powerful from you than from some nonprofit because you're putting money in their pocket. And people don't want me to hear say that, but it's the truth. Now, how do nonprofits make money? Here's the simple way. After I did all that ranting, they go ask for money from the city, from the county, from the federal government, from donors. And at the end of the year, let's say they got $500,000 in donor money. And now they have a staff of 3 people, right? Everybody on the staff gets paid $30,000, right? Well, they have enough money left over to run the nonprofit and pay people for next year. But people that work in nonprofits always know that it's like a running show. Like, you never know if you're going to stay open 2, 3, 4 years because it depends on donors and getting big name donors. So a lot of nonprofits spend all their time calling big name donors who've donated to colleges and high schools and schools, because you want to be in their good graces and you want them to keep sending you a check. So, I mean, even she starts a homeless shelter and she's feeding people, like, it might be better for her to do job training. It might be better for her to teach them how to use computers, because, at the end of the day, it's like, what gets a person to donate to that nonprofit? What makes it different than any other nonprofits, right? So, is the nurse you're talking about the name Paula Pants? Trying to look her up. No, Paula Pants she actually came to Atlanta with nothing on her back, no shoes, no shirt on her back. She was a reporter back in the day. And she's young. She's like maybe 33, 34. She's a little bit older than me. She basically was a reporter in Atlanta. No, reporter somewhere else. Saved money for 3 years and then traveled the world for 3 years. Then at the end of the 3-year mark, came to Atlanta with nothing but the backpack and the shirt on her back and started investing. Like, got a $20,000 house in Atlanta. This was around after the recession, of course, and put money into it. She takes pictures of the properties. You can see it. I love everything about it. On my site, Debbie Jean, Nurse Buys Houses, I interview Amanda Young out of Tampa. She is on her 5th or 6th house at this point, rentals. Chris McDonald's, what do you think of Donahue Peoples? I don't even know who that is. Is that Mr. Peoples out of Miami? The really light-skinned black guy, tall, the People's Principle? He wrote a book called The People's Principle. If that's him, then yes. Dude, that Travis guy is crazy. I done put him in timeout for 5 minutes. I done blocked him. I reported him. This dude is smoking some crack. So anyway, thanks. I will contact you ASAP. No problem, LaVille. I know, Debbie Jean. I don't know who this Travis guy is. He really needs a life. Nicholas Parkinson. Hey, Miss Erica, how are you doing today? Do you think it's good to join the military, Air Force, or Navy? I'm 18 years old and running my own online business, maybe even get some rental properties. Yes. If you know anything about my family story, if you ever watched this channel, that's my whole big thing, right? Our whole family in the 80s were broke. Farming broke. All that stuff broke. So some of our family members went to be cops right away. Two of them went to be, one's a nurse, one was a dentist, a hygienist on Fort Bragg, and then the rest went in the military. My mom was one of them. And being in the military allowed almost all 30 of those different family members, aunts, uncles, and cousins, to every duty station purchase a property, or when they back home, purchase empty lots of land, put trailers on them, rent them out, and do whatever they had to do. A lot of people don't realize if you just go in the military 18 to 23, right, or 18 to 20, 21, you do your 4 years and you get out. When you leave and you go to college, and I remember going to college with guys who had their own apartment, they had a paid off little Honda, and they were going to class and getting paid $1,500 from the GI Bill while they went to school. And they were more serious by then. They had a lot of that partying, they got out of their system. You're in a better position than the average 21-year-old who's on their 5th year of school and 20, 30 grand in debt, ain't got no car, or, you know, struggling to stay there in college and finish. You're just in a different mindset. You know, our family was able to use the military for what it was. Get these VA loans, get amazing health care. I've told you all in different videos where getting complaining about going to the dentist and the eye doctor. There were kids in my class who hadn't been to the dentist or eye doctor since they were 5 years old. And I was like 15 at the time. You got to realize there's people who cannot afford benefits. They cannot afford a lot of things. So using the Air Force and test really high, honestly, I'm going to be really honest. Air Force or Navy to me are the best because my cousin, out of everybody in our whole family, everybody did Army, right? My mom got to see Alaska. We got to see Alaska. My older brother got to see Germany, different things, right? But my cousin that went to Navy spent a lot of time in Spain. So he did a lot of time in Spain. He got to spend the time in Europe. So that he just came with a different perspective. Our one cousin that does Air Force, you know, he just got to live in different places from the usual. So I just think the higher your skill level, because I have friends in the Air Force in Korea, and what they're doing in Korea is just internet stuff, straight up, you know, cyber prevention, all that stuff. It's not even, and so their day is like playing on the computer, leave, go around South Korea, Seoul, hanging out, drinking beer, and chilling. Like, that's not a bad deal. So I think people just think Army equals infantry equals shooting people. So, all right. Michael McUnite, thanks. No problem. Chris McDonald, thanks, Erica. Jasmine Telly, I just love you, Erica. Thanks, Jasmine. Khalil Ali, Alan, I'm so sorry. It's the sun's so bright out here. Alan, what is a turnkey property? A turnkey property, and the way I keep using it when I talk to you guys is a turnkey property is, let's say there's, you know, wholesalers who go out all day and night looking for deals. Day and night, we buy houses looking for deals. And what happens is they, when they find deals, let's say they get them for really cheap. Let's say they find that house for $30,000, but they find it for $15,000. And then they put the work into it, right? They put 20 grand into it. And instead of selling it to you for just 45, they sell it to you for 70 and they manage it, right? Because depending on that area, the houses might go for $800 a month, $900 a month. And they're a turnkey company. That means they go out, they find deals, they work on them, and they get it to the finished product. Now, turnkey companies can also do other things. They could go and they need cash buyers to keep going, right? So you can say, hey, listen, I'm looking for deals under 50,000. They might work with you to say, hey, we got a bunch over here for 50,000, already fully cleaned up and done. And we have a management company. We can either manage it for you or help you find a management company. So turnkey companies are just guys and girls who, you ever see Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines on Fixer Upper? They spend their whole lives fixing properties anyway, and now they just make money off of the deal by, you know, getting retirees to invest in them, different people to invest in them. I like turnkey companies, and I like certain companies because if you're in Florida and you want this property in Georgia or North Carolina and you can't be there to on-site fix it, work on it every single day, that's where that turnkey company comes in and gets the work done, gets to complete it, you know, and everybody wins. Do you know what I'm saying? Travis Baker literally just told me, take that damn wig off. If anybody watches this channel, this is like my natural hair forever. It's kind of funny. This guy, I am blocking him again, dude. This is crazy. This guy really needs a life. It's crazy. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a black person. I don't know. Yes, that's him, Chris McDonald. L. Yeah, I wanted to know where do you find and finance for turnkey companies to rehab the property? Well, the thing is, Elle, you have to find companies that want to work with you, right? So I always recommend this one guy is, he's in Indiana and he's flipping different 15 houses a month. But the key to him moving so fast is he only works with buyers who have 40,000 cash, right? So he got 40,000 cash, and there it is, and he's got the property turned over to you, and you're renting out for about 675. But if you got to wait on the bank to finance you and approve the documents and approve the loan and do all this stuff, that slows him down, and so he doesn't work with people who usually have to work through the bank. So that's why I'm always big on business credit on this channel and business funding. So if you got cash, you can just make different moves. You can do more than a lot of other people who have to wait on the bank can. What is the slow and low strategy? Slow and low series is a series I did where I interviewed people. I interviewed people who were doing business, but they weren't like, oh, look at me doing business over here. They were just slowly doing business. And Nurse Buys Houses was one of those people. Amanda Young was just, putting her bandit signs out, putting out signs that said, hey, I bought Nurse Buys Houses, call me. And she'd go look at them on her days off. And, if she liked it, she'd like offer, and they'd agree and sign and be done. But the slow and low series was just where when I interviewed people. I interviewed Juan Pablo, I interviewed several people. Lavon Milukas. Erica, I found your site of yours where you had me fill out some info about my company. Well, my credit report. I can't find that site now. Can you point me to the right direction? Levantis, I think you're talking about one of my links at the bottom. Here you go. Try this link. Just like pay for a consult there. There you go. Urban Thomas, can I still go on for 26? Of course. I was thinking about doing Air Force part-time. Listen, anybody who's thinking about service in the military, I would only go in, like, I came from a family of all these military people. So when it came to time for me to even think about it, I was like, my mom was like, I spent all this money and energy so that you could go do something different, so that you could go, do whatever. Now, for me, I think it depends on what you're doing. What is your current job? Air Force is amazing. Air Force Reserve, I think you have the limit is like 33, 34 to come in. I think you just meet great people. I think you have that government LES, so car dealerships and real estate companies love wanting to work with you kind of thing. So that's just the difference. Okay, Jasmine, I never considered Army and Air Force for fear of, oh man. You know what? I've heard of some of that from my northern friends, but what's crazy is my mom had to help a unit after the tornado in Alabama, and there were some of them folks was cutting a fool. But if she had more folks cutting a fool in New York when she went to this event, like when she went overseas, she went downrange to Kuwait and Iraq. She said the people from New York were rude as hell. She was like, you'd be like, hey, how you doing? Because you're in a war zone and everybody's in this tight confined space, and she would just speak and they'd be like, why are you speaking to me? She'd be like, dude, calm down, you must be from New York. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like the New Yorkers and the northern people were like more agitated than others. It was crazy. So I think you use the Army for what you can. To me, if you go in and you're just, there's a guy, Nick Bear. Let me see if I can put it down here. Look him up, Nick Bear. You'll love him on YouTube. He's a fitness dude, right? But he was in the Army and he's getting out right now. Like he gets out in March. He's opening a gym that opens in February. Like, let me just break this down to you. This kid started a supplement company while in the Army. He went to college and then did his 4 years as an officer. He was in Korea. And he's filming his stuff for YouTube, working out, and he's selling this supplement company. So his brother back home in Pennsylvania is making sure all the stuff gets mailed out. His dad's helping him make sure all the stuff gets mailed out, all the supplement packages. And he's selling out left and right, and the channel blows up in the 2-year mark because he talks about his time in the Army, and he talks about this, wanting to start a gym. So he pretty much gets approved because he's in the Army. Think about it. High ranking, making $70,000 a year. Then he's also has this supplement company. Then he asked the bank for $100,000 to open this gym in Round Rock, which is right here up in Austin. And they go, yeah, here you go. And the supplement company made so much money via the YouTube and supplement company that he didn't even touch the loan, barely. So, I mean, it is what it is. You use the Air Force, the Army, any job to your advantage, to work for you, right? Urban Thomas. So business credit should be our fuel pump, really? Yes. Because here's the thing, you're really only using your W-2 to show, hey, look, bank, you ain't got to worry about me. I got a job. I'm sustaining where I live. This is just a part of my retirement dream or my real estate company. And here's the things I'm going to do. And it's not uncommon to get $70,000 in credit cards or $50,000 in business lines of credit if you don't have any major crazy blemishes. Your key at that point is just to use that money for down payment or closing costs and keep it moving. Jasmine, do you have any property in other countries? What type of business would you do that is international? So if I had to invest in the international, in a property, only companies I would pick right now, honest to God, is Spain, because it's so daggone cheap. Belize, because they basically look like us and they speak English. Very easy and convenient to invest in. What's another one? A for real one. Another one I would invest in that I would feel comfortable. There's few right now I feel comfortable with. The only reason why is because Brazil has so much inflation. Santiago, Chile. I like Chile, but like I just don't see. I see some changes going on there. I'm not really comfortable with. So again, my only two I'd recommend is Spain and Belize. That's it. Those are only two that a lot of Americans are there and have purchases and feel comfortable and so safe. Now you could say Mexico, but I ain't feeling that right now. I don't think that's smart. Urban Thomas. Okay, thanks, sister. All right. Yeah, seriously, Urban Thomas. Like, if you are in, the Air Force and you work a job and it all, like, this is my thing. When I see people working jobs that pay maybe $15 an hour, $20, and they're frustrated, it's because they don't see where they can kind of go outside of that. They don't see where there's going to be more in the future. But if they were to use the job just as a stepping stone to get them further or get them investments, people would be more excited coming to work. And the same thing is, too, people aren't taught any of this in schools. And so if you're not around family members who teach you this, like my first job at 14 years old was my cousin's dollar store. So when people talk about, I don't know anybody that owns businesses, like all my family owns businesses or police officer or military. So when I'd be in college, I'd have white kids and black kids be like, well, you're not normal. And I'm like, it's not that I'm not normal. I'm just, our family is surrounded by business owners. So if something happens or you lose a job or you lose your military life, you just go start a business and you keep rolling. I got an uncle that does trucking, owns several trucks. I mean, it's just, what it makes me happy is the fact that my nephew that's 10 years old started a lawn care company. He bought himself a shirt and he used my mom's lawnmower to cut a couple grasses this summer. It was quite funny. But hey, that's the thing. That's what he's seeing is what we do. And I love that. Jasmine Tennell, do you know anybody that has started manufacturing or bought factory equipment for resale purposes? Do you have to have a license to do that? It depends on what level. Like, you ever go to some of those warehouses and it's all restaurant equipment, or you go to a place and the guy just reselling trucks? That's the thing. Jasmine Tennell, I'm gonna stop asking questions now. I'm grateful. Yeah, thank you everybody that's coming. I don't know who this Travis Baker guy is. I hope he's watching and learning and educating himself because he's just so special. But let's not give him attention because that's what he wants. Anyway, everybody, this is Erica, Classic on Blog. I've got to run. Today has been interesting. The trolls have been severe. It's crazy. So you guys have a great day. Listen, remember, check out the website, check out the blog. I sign up for the list. I always try to email you good stuff. And if you need to consult me, make sure you message, hit the links. Also, what was I going to tell you guys about today? I totally forgot. Mess with them trolls. But anyway, I'll try to do one tomorrow, and then y'all see me probably again on Monday. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. You guys have a great day.